Casual Magic has been sponsored by Quiver, maker of the Quiver and Bolt deck cases and other fine deck holding accessories. Use the code CASUAL on their website for 10% off your order. We're also sponsored by Architect, the premier site for hosting your decks on the internet. I love them and they love me, and it seems like a good reason for you to use them. You can also support Casual Magic directly by going to our Patreon at patreon.com/ShivamB. And now, on with the show. Hello and welcome to Casual Magic, the show where we talk about the fun side of Magic the Gathering. My name is Shivam, and Casual Magic is brought to you by Architect and Quiver and my patrons at patreon.com/ShivamB. That's because of Wheeler. Wheeler has forced me to start saying .com in a very emphatic way, and now I just can't stop. Hold that thought. So today I am joined by OnionBug, the internet's one in our Magic community, a lovely and well-known friend who I've run into many times at Magic Cons, and talks about weird formats of Commander like Pendragon, which is, I think that's, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the one where you've got a legend and an equipment in your command zone.
Yes, right? It's a Pauper Commander variant format, so everything is commons except the legendary equipment that you get to put in the command zone with your common creature.
Yeah, so we'll cover that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I think that's an interesting. I love variant of Commander because that is the Sheldon principle right there of hey guys, we made a rule system and open sourced it, and your job is to tinker with it and do other weird things. It was not supposed to be the one be all end all of all formats.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out everybody disagreed. But that being notwithstanding, you're also just a really pleasant and upbeat person, and I was like, oh, you know what? And also, I think you've also asked me if you could come on the show 30 times. So I'm like, you know what? Sure.
Persistence pays.
Talk.
Don't let anybody tell you it doesn't.
There's a bunch of people who are like, oh man, how can I get on your show? And I'm like, brother, I need to put a show out every week. So literally find a window.
High. Yeah.
I'm pretty selective when it comes to my guests, but I'm not a gatekeeper when it comes to approaching me to be a guest. If you want to be a guest, just tell me. Because you know what's more fun than the most fun conversations are when people want to be here.
Mm-hmm. Funny how that works.
I'm telling you, there are sometimes where folks are like, I have aggrieved them by asking them to join me upon this podcast, and I'm like, this is not an interrogation. You're not under oath. You literally walked in the door yourself.
Fine, I guess I'll do it.
I am talking about your favorite subject, you, and the thing you like to do. How is this a problem?
No doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the interview life, man, it's 280x episodes of this show, and you would think I would have solved some of these problems by now, but no, here we are. But that said,
mm-hmm.
I really am genuinely glad that you joined me because
thank you.
For one thing,
mm-hmm.
We're recording this in Pride Month. It's going to go out in not Pride Month because I've just got,
of course,
a queue. But it's also, you have been such an you're part of the Birds of Paradise, among other things.
Correct. Yes.
And I talked to Bobby Christine, and obviously lovely. We love her. She's so amazing.
We love BCB.
And it's also that there is such a huge and thriving trans community in Magic that is just been around forever, and for the most part are entirely wonderful people. I'm not saying overall, because there's always going to be a bad actor here and there.
Certainly.
But by and large, though, it's it's one of those things that just makes me so happy to see that there's a huge and thriving, organically grown community that is found a home and a niche here and has carved it out. I wish that niche wasn't CDH, which is why I'm glad that you're not playing CDH, but you're Pendragoning.
Oh, I'm a casual girly
Yeah, but
through and through.
you know what I'm talking about, though. You
I
sit down
do.
at a CDH table, and 3 of the 4 people are trans, and the 4th one will be in 6 months, right? Like,
It's so true. Vegas last year, I did sit down for my first ever CEDH games,
mhm.
and won. So that was fun. It was a fun experience.
Oh
Like
lordy.
I've never done this before. Good game.
Yeah. Um. So the it's like because we live in very weird times right now.
We do. We sure do.
I feel like that's a statement that is just very um, light on the weight there. But the thing is, it's nice to see, especially like at MagicCon Vegas, for instance, they have the new segment of like they didn't at Chicago for whatever reason. They didn't have the Birds of Paradise
Right.
table and room, but now they've got this big area for more like diverse initiatives
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's just sick. And I'm glad that
It's wonderful.
to see Wizard like embracing that our community is so vibrant and
Yeah.
different and cool. As an old man who had been here for a very long time, it fills me with joy to see like that sort of thing. Um, and so it's like that's why I enjoy watching like interacting with you and just hanging out because you're just chill and fun
Mm-hmm.
and like and
Except when we meet up at LobbyCon and I make you
oh
cry.
yeah, well then when we start weeping on each other because like yeah, you have like a history with me that extends
We
well
do.
before I knew who you were, right?
We do. We do. Yeah. I uh gosh, Magic the Gathering. 1993 it debuted and I bought packs of alpha.
Oh, snap.
Now I had no one to play with.
You might be one of the few people on the show who has played before I did.
I'm typically whenever I show up in Magic spaces, I'm one of the oldest people in the room. I'm 45.
I'm
So
44, so it's like you're not. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, but yes, sure.
Uh-huh. So there's like a history there and a perspective that I've seen the game from that a lot of the people that I associate with, other creators and stuff like that, that are just younger than me or from a different generation, there's gaps in what they've experienced in the Magic world. And I didn't start playing in '93. I was small
Mm.
town. I had like no one to play with. I didn't actually
So
get
then, why would you buy the cards?
because I used to be a big comic nerd.
Mm.
Every month it was routine. You go to the comic shop. Let's check out Previews magazine. What's coming
Yes.
out? Full 2-page spread. Magic the Gathering. What the heck is this? Oh my
Mm.
gosh! This is. I saw a picture of Drudge skeletons, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
have to have this. I must have this. Um,
Yes.
I was just completely enthralled. So I bought some cards. I know that I traded away the contents of those packs for some comic books, which is
Mm.
I'm glad
You
I don't
know,
remember what was in them.
we have all. Ah. Every now and then I think about the deck that I had that my brother took to school one day that got lifted out of his backpack, and the fact that it had 12 true duels and a
Whoa.
unlimited soul and like all just like that deck could have bought me a car today.
No doubt.
It's like just like ooh, but we've been there, we've all been there.
I finally got started in Magic properly with like a group of friends and actively playing in like 2000.
Mm.
The first Magic related product, aside from those packs of Alpha that I ever bought for myself, was the Beatdown box set.
Ah, yes, with the cool
Yes.
mace.
The only time they printed Fireball with X and Y in the
Yes,
casting
the
cost.
XY fireball, and the other cool card was the Urnham Jin. And
Love it.
I still have the spin downs that came from that deck. There was a green one and a red one that were that had the lotus symbol on them.
Yes, they're
I've had
beautiful.
those for 1,000 years. They are my favorite spin downs.
I still have the poster from that box set. It's
Hell yeah.
framed. It's all beat to hell, but it's framed, and I love it. I love it so much. But
God, that box set.
it
Anyways,
was just casual kitchen table stuff. Whatever cards were lying around,
mm.
good
Yeah,
magic,
right.
real good stuff.
The way it should be, man.
And eventually I started going to my LGS, got involved with Standard. From like 2001 to 2011, I was tournament grinding, like hitting up
Sure.
F&M every week, state champs when I could, regionals, all that stuff, and had a
Mm,
really good time doing it. And then took a break, and like shifted my attention over to video games mostly, which
mm,
has kind of been my secondary or primary passion, depending on what time of my life you catch me at.
mm-hmm.
And I was doing a lot of things online with people. I started writing some articles for different publications and stuff. I was having a really good time with it, which is how I came to know you,
Mm,
because when I was endeavoring into video game things, there was like the holy trilogy of video game creators, which was like Retronauts,
yeah.
Waypoint, Abnormal Mapping. It's like, these are my pillars. These are so listening to all those old Retronauts episodes where you were featured on them, talking about Street Fighter and everything, and just all the passion coming through. So as soon as I got back into Magic, you were the first familiar face there.
That's so weird.
It's
Like,
like, yay! I've left video games behind as far as content is concerned, but I haven't left Shivam behind. He's right here with me. So it was just great to have a familiar face there and something to point me in specific directions. Like, okay, Magic. I've been away for a while. What direction am I going in? And so it was really nice. It was
yeah,
good.
it's wild because like folks may or may not know, but like one of my first jobs out of college was working at oneup.com. And that's because for a long time I was a forum regular when I was in college on the forum of Jeremy Parrish, who's one of the great
Yep.
game journalists of all time and like just a god tier retro like gamer. And I mean, he publishes books and does like YouTube channels
They're
and
so
stuff
good.
about old games and does all this footage and everything. And like he brought me on and I started working on One Up, and he created a podcast called Retronauts where we would talk about at that time old games,
Yeah.
and now like the games like basically minimum 10 years old, but like talking about things from the 70s and 80s. And over the years, Retronauts is still going to this day.
Yeah.
And I have showed up on like a dozen episodes because every now and then he'll be like, "Hey, I need somebody to talk about Civilization. Who do I know?" Or like, dude, Parrish invited me on to do a double episode about Civ and Magic, and I was like, "Okay, well, so it's going to be me lecturing to you for like 3 hours, right?" He's like, "That's what I signed up for." But like, I mean, I've done like episodes on Final Fantasy for like we did the Street Fighter 3 episode was like 4.5 hours long or some
At
crap. It's like,
least. Yeah.
yeah, but that is one of my favorite things to do. So like, I remember you came up to me once at like a MagicCon or something, and you're like, "Oh man, I remember you from Retronauts," and I was like,
What?
"This is a weird crossover," because there have been a handful of people over the years who've been like, "I love you on Retronauts and I love you here," and I'm like, I guess I can't be the only retro nerd who also plays Magic, but it's
Right.
it's not the intersection you normally run into, and I think that's kind of sweet. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, not to get too up my own horn here, but
Sure,
like,
sure.
the other day I was taking my son, my wife, and I went to a local archery field in a public park here because they were
Oh,
having a free like archery day, like come
oh,
and
nice.
learn how to shoot bows. And my kid's like, "I want to learn how to do that." And I'm like, "Why don't we all go? It'll be fun." And we
Hmm.
went, and we're sitting there and we're shooting at a target, and I'm talking to my son. I'm like, "Aim better this way, that way, whatever." And the dude next to me turns and he's like, "Do you have a Magic podcast?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Do you have a Magic YouTube channel?" And I'm like, "What the hell? I'm in the middle of a national park far away from the universe." It's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I saw your episode yesterday about with you and like somebody from Loading Ready." I'm like, "What?"
What are you talking about? Stop.
it,
Oh, it's so
you
good.
would say such things in front of my family? I'm like covering my son's ears.
Oh, it's
But yeah, like
that's so beautiful.
it's that's like that's fun. I love that. That's just it's nice to know people actually listen to these things.
No doubt.
Sorry, I'm still a little I'm always amazed when someone's like, "Oh man, I listen to your show." I'm like, "Why? I listen to it because I have to. You don't have to." um, yeah,
Oh,
but yeah. So I thought that was sweet because like I remember we ran into each other in Vegas 2 Vegases ago. Last Vegas? No, it
the
was two
past
Vegases ago.
the past 2 years.
Yeah.
In 23, that was when I showed up at the con floor. You were already your little meet and greet was already underway, and I'm like, oh,
Mm.
this is perfect. So I brought my playmat over. You were the first person I talked to. I was all like, oh, I've been following you since Retronauts. I had my little
Yeah, yeah,
fangirl
yeah.
moment, and got you to sign my playmat, and it was awesome. And then we had a little more time last year. We met up at LobbyCon. We got to actually have a little more heart to heart, so that was kind of nice. But
Mm. Yeah, that's for us. But that was a lovely conversation though. It's like it's always nice, and that was a weird lobby con for me.
it certainly was.
It because like it was wild because that was the first Magic event I had been to post the collapse of Commander,
Yeah.
and it was not my favorite convention of all time
No.
because everybody was still raw and sore and bitter. So all of us who would be loving to hang out with each other were instead just looking at each other with deep unappreciation for each other.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. It was I'm glad to say it's gotten better now, and especially like I have no
certainly.
regrets. Like I have no regrets. Not running Commander has been great for me.
I can imagine. Jeez.
Dude, yeah, but well, yeah, and you probably know because now you run a format too,
I
or
do. That
help.
is true. Yes,
Yeah,
I am in the Pendragon rules
which
roundtable.
yeah, you guys call it a round table because
We
the
do
Knights of
call it
the.
the round table. We're super dorks about it. It's on our
I mean,
Discord. It's our Discord. The voice channels are all named after the Knights of the Round. It's
oh, for
so
God's sakes. Okay.
yes. Uh-huh. The Pendragon is a Pauper commander variant format. So everything is commons. You have a common creature and a legendary equipment in the command zone. That's the one break from
Mhm.
the Pauper rules, and it
And
makes a
like
huge
all their
difference.
commander rules.
Yeah, it's commons only. There's no ban list. We got some stuff that we're watching, but nothing's been too detrimental at common rarity, even with Mystic Remora and Ristic Study being legal cards in the format. It
Yeah,
hasn't.
well, that's fair. That's fair. It's just
um,
because, like, when Ristic and Friend are legal, but because it's at common power level by and large, that
mhm.
still will limit the amount of nonsense that gets going with those. You can't quite pop off the way you could, but there's still like, I find Remora is just such a
Mhm.
antisocial card.
It is.
It's like Standstill, right? Like nobody plays Standstill in Commander because that card is just miserable.
That's my favorite card of all
Oh, for
times.
Christ's sake, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
It's Look, I'm not going to on this podcast, but I could talk at great lengths about Standstill and how it's a very interesting card depending on how you play it. And I'm not the type of player that plays it to just stall out the game.
Okay, so I'm going to need to tell the children what standstill is because y'all might not remember. This is from Odyssey Block, the famous set, which was very deeply encouraging people not to play. And standstill is a one, it's a 1 and a blue enchantment that says whenever a player casts a spell, sacrifice his enchantment. If you do, each of that player's opponents draws 3 cards. And I cannot tell you how many vintage games have come down to I've got a 1/1 and you've got nothing, and I put standstill down and we're going to stare at each other. And you're going to die incrementally because you are too much of a coward to let me have 3 cards.
I have played, I swear to you, I have played so many games of Commander where I've dropped a standstill on the board. and absolute hilarity ensues
Oh
because
yeah, because
everybody
everybody
looks.
is suddenly paralyzed.
First, everybody has to say, "What the heck is this? What is
Mhm.
this? Let me read this." And then they're like, "Are you kidding?" No, I'm not.
I will.
Who's gonna pop the balloon?
Oh yeah, I will be honest. I will always just eat it because I do not care. I don't want to deal with that. So I'm just like, screw it. Take your cards, you bastards. Um,
It's so funny. It's so funny.
yeah, I mean, like, dude, I played a game before Hull Breacher was banned where it was like stand
Ooh.
still into Hull Breacher, and then you're like, you know what? I don't want to play this game.
Most of the time when I play it, I end up like popping it myself, just being a goof at the table. Like
Oh
everybody,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh, it's standstill, and everybody groans, and then like 2 seconds later, I brainstorm and pop it myself, and everybody else is drawing cards, and they're like, "Well, what the heck did you do that for?" And I'm like, "The more cards you have in your hand, the faster this game goes."
Oh yeah,
So
like I
I
mean,
don't
real
care.
talk. It is a great card for group hug type things.
Yes,
Uh,
which is one
but
of my
it's
favorite archetypes. So
yeah. Um, well, the thing is that because when I saw Pendragon, my first thought was Oathbreaker, which is another format that has
mhm.
extra crap in the command zone, and like I think it's a little bit better than Oathbreaker because equipment is by and large not as good as spells are, and like
Right.
having a free spell in the command zone is way stronger than just having an equipment.
Yeah.
However, but the fact that you guys also limit yourself to commons
Hmm.
also makes it a lot less egregious than it could be.
When Pendragon as a format debuted,
Who came up with
I
it?
Grubblethorn
Mm.
won. If you're looking for him on Blue Sky, he's our fearless leader. He came up with the concept for it, drafted up all the rules, and then over time they were refined and kind of perfected as they are now. We've had a lot of luck with them in their current format, but I was I was getting admittedly a little bit burned out on Commander at the time that I saw
Sure.
Pendragon debuted, because it's a lot of power creep and the type of things that you see at the tables these days as compared to like when I got started. It's like, is this even the same game? Sometimes you think, and
I have thoughts on that.
so Pauper Commander was a format at the time. I was aware of it. I had played it. I
Mm,
thought it was interesting. But there's something about Pendragon that really drew me in. And it was the fact that I get to put a legendary equipment and a common creature in the command zone. That's kind of like build your own commander. And it immediately got my creative juices flowing. I was like, okay, this is fun. Already I'm feeling more creative than building for commander.
hmm.
I'm not banking on all the staples that I'm used to. I'm commons only. I'm discovering new cards that are good in this format. Like all the rules have changed, and then on top of it, I started playing some games. And the feeling that I got when I first started playing Pendragon was way back in the early days when me and all my friends were playing Magic out of a shoebox.
Yes.
Here's just this big pile of jank, which we didn't even
Mm,
know was jank at the time. We thought, like, crawworm, this thing is awesome.
right. We don't know any better. Right?
We didn't know
Exactly.
any better. And it was just great. Sometimes the games came down to who's got the biggest, scariest thing on the field, or who managed to get off that one spell at that crucial moment. And every turn mattered because
Mm.
no one was playing anything at any time that drastically just warped the shape of the game.
Yeah, but like Pauper can get pretty broken. Like
Yeah.
Pauper Commander can get very, very busted. But
And we can
you
too in Pendragon.
yeah. Is now the gimmick in Pauper is that like your commander's uncommon. Is that
Yeah.
the case with you as well?
Nope, it's a common creature.
Oh, so it's got to be common all the way down.
Any common creature ever printed is legal in the command zone for Pendragon.
Okay. How happy were you when you saw Stolen Uniform in Final Fantasy was an uncommon? Because I feel like a one mana instant that lets you equip somebody for free and steal somebody else's creature and equipment would probably be broken in half in your format.
we might have had to keep a very close eye on that if it was at common rarity.
Oh
Thankfully,
my
it is
god, that would have
not.
been broken in there.
Oh, Final Fantasy did such good things for the format, though.
Oh yeah.
The 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 overall quality of common creatures is really there. There's a lot of new common creatures from Final Fantasy that are actually really interesting in the command zone for Pendragon, but it gave us
Mm.
6 new legendary equipments,
Yeah.
which is a lot, and most of them are pretty potent. So it's been an exciting time. Like, we've been seeing new archetypes crop up, new combos that are viable, all sorts of things. There's a couple infinite combos in Pendragon, but they're pretty few and far between. And for the most part, it's just sort of been agreed upon that, like, yes, we could play this at like a competitive level, but most people are just happy to play things casual and have a good time.
I think putting competitive level, putting a competition onto a brand new format is a kiss of death for that format,
I agree.
because that just encourages people to go and find the most busted thing possible,
Yep,
and then break it, and then you've got no fun anymore. If there's nothing on the table, then people are free to explore and do dumb crap.
absolutely.
Although
Absolutely.
it must have been funny when Assassin's Creed gave you Excalibur, and then Final Fantasy gives you Excalibur 2. Because
It's
that's a Lord of the Arthur, King Arthur, Arthurian, right
and
there.
it's funny too because we refer the command zone, the common creature, and the legendary equipment we refer to as the Arthur and the Excalibur of your deck.
Right.
But those are terms that were coined before Assassin's Creed came out. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, my Excalibur is, wait, it's not Excalibur. No, yes, it is my Excalibur, but it's not the Excalibur.
Well, it's like,
It's so silly.
when you've got commander cards that are labeled like Commander Mustard is Commander, and you're like, oh god.
Commander Mustard.
But like that card, by the way, rules. But
Yes,
like,
it
dude,
does.
also Excalibur, Sword of Eden is busted.
It's You need a legendary creature,
Yeah, but
but
like it
some of
gives you
the old
plus 10 plus 0 in vigilance. Come on.
this is true. Some of the old
Oh yeah, you need a legend.
legends, you do need a legendary, but some of the old legendary creatures from Legends
Yeah.
did have common rarity printings on some of the Magic Online formats, and we
As
retconned
did
that.
Chandler and what's his name?
Yeah, this
The
is
two dudes from Homeland Fallen Empire.
yes. That's why my Excalibur deck is
Joven.
Lady Orca.
Mm.
She's just a big Rakdos 7/4 creature.
Actually, didn't we recently get another legend at common? I feel like recently there was a legendary creature at common.
There's
I
a
remember.
red goblin from Modern Horizons 3 that is legendary.
Yes, that dude was hella fun.
Yeah. Has grandeur.
Yeah, that dude was hell. I got it to work in freaking in draft, and that was very. Hang on, I got it. This is one of those things where I'm gonna just sit and chew on it. Skoa Ember Mage.
Skoa. Yep.
Yeah, it comes into play, does 4 damage to any target, and has grandeur. That card popped off for me in that draft. But yeah, anyways, Excalibur 2 much worse than Excalibur 1.
Sure.
Anyways,
Still potent, but not as good.
All right, so if somebody wanted to get into Pendragon, kind of give me a vibe of like, what does a deck look like for Pendragon? Like, how do you like when, like, for instance, how do you start to build one? What do you pick equipment first? Do you pick a legend? Where do you go?
What I do is I start with the legendary equipment. That's always going to be usually the most powerful piece in your deck, no matter what. It's the only thing that breaks the common rarity. So, and a lot of legendary equipments are quite potent. So I will start with a legendary equipment. And typically my thought after that is, well, okay, well, what common creature would be a real menace if they stumbled across this thing and were able to pick it up? What common creature would be even more of a menace if they could do it consistently because they're in the command zone? And I start kind of building from there.
The equipment has to be legendary too?
The equipment must be legendary. The creature in the command zone does not need to be. They can be, but they do not.
Yeah, because that makes the pool way smaller then.
It would be minuscule, but because it's any common creature, it's enormous.
Right.
One of my favorite decks that I've put together is Dungeon Shade and Wand of Orcus.
Dungeon Shade?
Dungeon Shade. It costs 2 and a black. It flies, and it gets +1/+1 at the cost of 1 single
Oh,
black
so it's like
mana.
just any shade, but it's like
It's a shade,
it's a
basically. Yeah, it's just one of the most efficient shades that they've ever printed because the cost of activation is just 1 black. It's so low. So with Wand of Orcus strapped to it,
oh god.
ooh, can we make some zombies?
Wand of Orcus with Zombie Link over here. You, whenever equipped creature deals combat damage, you make that many 2/2 zombies. I love that card.
It's
Uh,
so good.
it's it's nutty in my Grimgrin deck. It's super super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, Wand of Orcus. Wow, because this way you've just got this flying shade, so it's automatically got evasion. You can
Yep.
pump it really really high, and thus get
Mm-hmm.
an entire army of zombies. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that seems gross.
So when I started building the 99 then, or 98, because you have 2 cards in the command zone, I just thought, okay, well, how can we optimize this pair even more? What if people keep killing my Dungeon Shade because they're afraid of it? Okay, it
Mm,
makes sense. I'm going to strap it up with the Wand of Orcus. That's scary. Cool. I put a bunch of other shades in the deck.
mm.
So there's almost like a ton of secondary commanders sprinkled throughout the 98 that can just take up the sword when they need to.
Or the random spine of the elder god. Yeah.
Exactly. But then also just made a lot of strategic choices. Like, okay, I know that my deck is consistently going to pump out damage and a ton of zombies. So
Mm,
how can like Shepherd of Rot is in there, and anything else that just kind of benefits lots of zombies being on the
right.
field. Let's give
That's
them
kind of
all
sick.
menace. Let's do all kinds of whatever. Like and it's interesting to because I've built so many zombie decks in my day
Hmm.
since it was always one of my favorite like typal archetypes. Zombies, they're fun. I always had mono black zombies back in the day, and then it was Demir and whatever. But uh, shifting that over to Pendragon was like, oh, I get to make all these new choices, and
So
now this card is amazing. When like I never would have put it in my deck before because it wasn't a rare. Other things were
right.
better.
So I have a couple of questions.
Certainly.
One is there are a lot of equipment that have color, right? Especially
Mm-hmm.
legendary equipment. That's one of the ways they balance them.
Yep.
What are the color identity rules here? Like, does do you get is your deck the colors of both your equipment and the dude, or is it just the dude?
Nope. Both.
Mm,
So
okay.
you could take a black creature and a blue equipment, and you've now got a Demir identity.
So I
Yes,
could have Unscythe Killer of Kings, which is the legend from Alara block that's Grixis colored, and have a green a green common creature, and have a 4 color deck.
absolutely,
That
absolutely.
would be probably really heinous and not very good. But
I uh, I made an Unscythe deck and I paired it with Hunter Sliver, which is the
oh,
sliver that has provoke.
oh, what
It's disgusting.
listeners at home can't see that my face immediately just twisted. Like you said, Hunter Sliver, and I was like, no, why would you do that? Because Unscythe, for those of you who don't know your Alara rares, is an equipment that gives +3/+3 in first strike. Whenever a creature dealt damage by the equipped creature this turn is put into a graveyard, you may remove that card from the game and make a 2/2 zombie. So with Provoke, you were basically dragging people to block you.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh wait, I get to make all the blocking decisions. Thank goodness. I'm
That's
glad I have the
gross.
Unscythe. Yeah, it is. It's gross. Pendragon
What?
is interesting because you can do the most disgusting things
Okay, but
out
what
of the
about Aether
command
Spark?
zone. Ooh,
Because Aether
it's
Spark is a
very potent.
weird equipment.
It is a weird equipment, but it is legal in the format and it is quite potent. It's definitely one of the top tier equipments.
Yeah, because it's dumb.
Yes, it is. It is. When
uh,
we first set eyes on it, we were like, "Oh, this is gonna." And then we started testing it, and we're like, "Holy smokes!"
yeah,
Um,
dude.
but the overall common rarity to the format, it really tempers things down.
Sure.
Like everything that everybody is doing in the command zone generally is really terrifying.
Mm.
but then everything else is just at common rarity. So the power level is kind of capped at what your 98 can really accomplish, and things
Right.
don't ever get too out of control. Plus, the fact that everybody's doing something heinous in the command zone, it just sort of balances out. Um, Games usually move at a brisk pace, and it's never really one sided for the most part. Like, everybody kind of gets a chance to shine, which are my favorite type of commander games, where
Yeah.
not one person dominates the whole thing. Nobody's sitting around bored. Now you're the threat. Now you're the threat. And it keeps shifting and changing.
Okay, what about something like a Calder Complete? Because that's a legendary equipment that comes in as a creature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of weird thematically for the format.
It's I mean it's perfectly legal. It's very potent. It does come with its own creature built in the germ. So right out of the gate, it's ready to rock and roll, but its cost is so high.
Yeah. I mean,
And
yeah, that's true.
like common rarity, the mana values never get too out of control. So you usually don't have people that are like stalling forever and just sitting there. Like the game is kind of kicking off within the first 2 turns
Right.
and running at a brisk pace. So
What about
yes,
using Halvar, God of Battle, the Sword of the Realm side of him,
the
which is
Sword of the
legendary
Realm
too?
side is totally legal. The
Sweet.
other side is considered to just not
Not
exist
exist,
as
right?
far as Pendragon is concerned.
I love that.
Sword of the Realms is so much fun. Returning creatures to your hand. I decided to pair that
Stop
with
tapping
a
your keyboard, please.
fair enough. I decided to pair that up with a mutate creature.
Oh,
So I make a big pile of nastiness, and then with the Sword of the Realms on it, if you kill it, cool. It's all coming back to my hand, and they all have ETBs.
you know what? I should put that into my normal Nethroid deck because that actually seems like
It's so good.
a great way to get out of jail.
It's so good.
Oh,
And
that's disgusting.
I never would have put 2 and 2 together with that if I wasn't looking at things from just a strictly common
Well, see,
perspective.
that's the thing. That's what I love about like weirdo formats of Commander is like
Mm-hmm.
they make you look at a card that's a normal card and you evaluate it in an entirely different way because suddenly it's like, whoa, this thing that I would have just glossed over is now the hottest possible thing in my deck. Like, if I was going to brainstorm a deck for Pendragon right now, I would want to use like Reaver Cleaver. I think is my legendary equipment because that's one of my favorite. Just like
Mm-hmm.
it gives a trample and +1/+1 and makes a ton of treasure tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Mask of Grizzlebrand seems like it would be super fun.
Mask is really nice. If you like Reaver Cleaver, stick it on a Mirkwood bat.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. It's terrific.
That's not okay.
It's so potent. It's
Oh,
so good.
gross.
Yeah.
Mirkwood Bats is the thing that does damage to people whenever a token enters or leaves play.
Yes.
When that card came out, I was like, this card's going to break Commander. And everyone's like, you're an idiot. And I was like,
Okay, well,
you
we'll
guys just don't
see.
play the kind of decks I do. It didn't break Commander, but it sure made it annoying for a hot minute. Yeah. I don't know, but I'm just thinking like there's so many wacky ass equipment from Final Fantasy that I now want to play that just seems like it'd be super fun to use, like Ultimate Weapon,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
is just like it's a 7 mana that equips for 7. That's a 7/7, and I can't think of any common ways to cheat equipment. Is Stonehewer Giant's not a common,
Mm-mm.
is it?
No.
There probably aren't very many ways to cheat equipment into play.
Uh, cheat equipment into play, not so much. Cheat equipment costs. Equip costs? Oh yeah. In fact, Final Fantasy gave us it's the weapons merchant, I believe.
Oh right,
Equips things for free, like once
yes.
per
For you pay
combat phase.
1 at the beginning of combat to do that.
It's
That card rules.
it's very nice.
Oh god. Did you see the item seller? The common red dude who's like well you target equipped creature you have gets menace.
It's so
I have won
nice.
so many games of limited with that, and
It's so
I can only
nice.
imagine it's gonna be busted in
Yes.
format.
Yep, those are two creatures that I've been eyeballing for the command zone from
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. I'm really
Oh
looking
god, in the
forward to doing
command zone?
something.
Oh, that's gross.
Oh yeah, yes.
So, do you guys end up with decks that are just full of like random equipment? Like, or is it do people tend to build with just the equipment in the zone and not really? Because like I would be tempted, at least for my first deck, to like want to put as many equipment as I can.
Voltron is very potent in
Well,
this
it's a
format.
common. Voltron's always going to be good in commons because
Yeah.
there aren't very many sacrifice effects, and it's
hmm
easy to get things like hexproof at common.
Yep. Tons of auras, tons of equipments. I've seen plenty of decks played that way, and they can be really potent. A little fragile. They're kind of glass cannon.
Well, that's the best kind of cannon.
Absolutely.
What
But
is your life total?
30. Life total
Okay,
starts at
so if
30.
you use like Caduceus, the staff of Hermes from Assassin's Creed, which is like as long as you have 30 or more life, equipped creature gets +5/+5 and indestructible.
hmm
Probably really good, huh?
Pretty disgusting on a crypt rats.
What? I hate that. I hate that. Why would you do that? That's so bad.
When Pendragon first debuted and started to kind of gain traction, we did have several CEDH players that were like, "What is this? Let's take a look at this." And then
Oh
so
god,
there were a couple of things that like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Stop!" And Crypt Rats Caduceus was one of those
that's
things.
such a dumb like. Just imagine this stupid friggin' plague rat running around holding the giant magic sword of Hermes, going like, "I will heal all of you with my little bites that just happen to kill everybody." That's disgusting.
It's great. It's one of the things I like about the format the most is that it's such a catalyst for storytelling. Like
Oh yeah, that's a good format.
if you're a Vorthos, it is a dream format because like okay, you're taking this common creature who is very not legendary, which is what you're used to seeing in the zone, and all of a sudden they came across this weapon. And what are they now? Who do they become? And you can kind of tell that story, and it's really neat. I've seen some really cool storytelling right out of the command zone in Pendragon, and like people actually like making all of the choices in their deck based on the flavor of their commander and who that character is and who they are becoming by finding this weapon. It's
I mean,
really neat.
that's every deck I build though.
Exactly. And but you can in Pendragon you can build to those kind of stipulations without hindering yourself too badly. You're still going to compete with the rest of the pod because they have all those same restrictions as you. They're locked into common rarity, and it kind of evens the playing field. And I like that you can be more creative, more expressive, uh, more bold with your choices, and not just get slaughtered at the table. It's
Okay,
nice.
so give me a few cards that you wouldn't expect to be sick in your format or that people wouldn't think about that are just like busted. And I don't mean like equipment or command zone. I mean like in the 98, in the body of the deck. What are like some of
Sure.
these cards that are just like found new life in your format?
Oh my gosh. Well, a null is pretty good
Oh God.
because you can bank on things like that. Everybody will be casting artifacts, and
Yeah.
quite a few times. Disciple of the Vault ends up being very
Oh
good in the
God.
format. There is
A null, by the way, is the 1 mana counter spell that counters target artifact or equipment. It was from Urza Saga. Oh no,
there,
it counters target artifact or enchantment, not equipment.
right.
Yeah, from Saga Block and then reprinted a billion times.
There is a red card. I think it's called
Like Shatter is probably common as hell in your format, huh?
Shatter is good. Yes. I think the card I'm thinking of is called Shenanigans.
Oh God, yes.
It's a red common. Destroy target artifact, one in a red, and it has dredge one.
Yes. From Modern Horizons 1.
Having that kind of repeat artifact destruction can really come in clutch.
That seems against the idea of the format, but you also have to be playing red and you have to be in a dredge deck and you have to you have to contort your deck at least to use it, so it's a little less
Mm-hmm.
a little less nasty. But
And the thing is too, with wielding that type of power, like, oh haha, I'm gonna be able to stop your equipment at any time. You have three opponents still. They all have equipment. So
mm,
good luck tamping down everybody. You're not gonna do it. So again, it's kind of balanced.
well, I mean that's Commander though, right? Like
Yeah,
everybody's doing something stupid, and they have to get through three other people to do it. At least that remains consistent throughout. Um,
certainly.
so has your format been picking up? I know you guys are like trying to get like Moxfield and Architect and friends to recognize you.
We got Moxfield. We are official on Moxfield. You can pull up Moxfield and build a Pendragon deck. All the
Mm.
rules are built right in. All you got to do is select everything. It was a pretty big moment for us. We had a lot of talks with Moxfield about like, what do you want to see for us to prove that like this format has legs and stuff like that. And it was a bunch of wonderful talks, and we got everything squared up, and eventually we hit those thresholds, and they brought us in right away. So it was a big moment for us. It was pretty
Well,
huge.
getting format recognition matters a lot because like there are so many infinite sub formats, but it takes like once you get popped up there, then suddenly you can be seen.
Yeah,
And when the Commander Rules Committee still existed, we went out of our way to try to highlight these kind of minor formats, which is why I love them. I love that they exist, and I love that there are partisans for them. Like because more ways to play is better for all of us,
agreed.
right? Like it sucks if like one of the things people are always complaining to me about was like, man, I hate Commander because I want to play Legacy, and all my Legacy friends now just play Commander, or we can't fire like F&M drafts anymore because anybody only wants to play Commander. I'm like, that's not what we want. We don't want Commander to be all of Magic. We want it to be a balanced part of your healthy breakfast or whatever, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, but everybody just wants to eat the tricks and not the orange juice and toast on the side. So,
Mm-hmm. We've been
so
doing a lot to promote the format, especially ever since we did get recognized by Moxfield as a legitimate format. Just like 2 weeks ago, I sent a full quiver full of 4 decks to the professor, so he's
oh,
going to get to try it out.
oh well, that's gonna be interesting.
It's
Did you
really
reply?
cool. Oh yeah, yeah. We had a conversation about it. I let him know like we're recognized on Moxfield now. Like if you're interested in the format, and he's like, I've actually heard really good things about it. I would like to try it. I was like, cool.
Nice. What text
Uh,
did you send him?
um,
I guess no. Save that for the whatever he does with it.
right, right, no doubt.
Yeah.
It
But if you were going to make a sample deck to introduce somebody, because like one of the things I know that Pauper Commander did is they would go to the various command fests and set up a table and just put up a little stanchion and a sign saying, "Hey, here we've got Pauper decks for you to play with. Come give the format a try."
yeah.
Um, what would you suggest to somebody who wants to jump in, like what commander pairing or whatever?
Typically, when I'm introducing new players to the format, I tell them focus on a single color to start. Get an equipment that has no color identity. Get a common creature with a single color identity, and just go wild. You're
Hmm.
not going to be used to these commons. You probably don't play with them very often. Deep dive on something. See how you can break things. See how you can make it interesting. I think one of the cooler monocolor decks that I'm really fond of pairs up Court Street Denizen
Hmm.
with one of the Lord of the Rings swords, the Anduril, that
Oh, I
keeps
love that sword.
churning out white spirits,
Yes.
because Court Street Denizen says whenever a white creature enters the board, you get to tap something down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So every time you swing, you're dealing damage, you're making 2 new spirits, you're tapping 2 new things down, and it just keeps cascading from there. And it's really neat to watch those effects kind of stack up on each other. Like I said, I built the Dungeon Shade and Wand of Orcus. It's like, let's just go in on black. And monocolored decks are a lot of fun, but we have a lot of people that build 4 color, 5 color, just cram all the colors in there, see what we can do with it. How can we make this weird? Um, and it's fun. It's a good time.
I'm just thinking about building. If you were to build a deck with Elbrus the Binding Blade, dump that thing out there, and suddenly get Withingar. I've been trying to fight to get that card to be allowed to be played in the command zone, and people are like, No.
You can in Pendragon.
Yeah, but there's like, and you know what? I will soapbox right now. There are equipment that let you play the equipment as a thing in your command zone. Wizards did it. We can do it. Stop being weaklings. Um, like if you can play the goddamn oh, what is that stupid blue one? The reality chip. If
Yes.
you can play the reality chip in the freaking command zone, you can play Elbrus the Binding Blade.
Key to the
Dude.
Vault is also nasty. It's
Oh
so
yeah, that card is
nasty.
gross.
Yeah.
Key to the Vault is like whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, look at that many cards from the top of your library, and then you
Yeah.
can exile a non-land card from them, and then cast the exiled card for free.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I took Key to the Vault and I paired it up with Planar Ally, which is a common angel, and whenever it attacks, you venture into a dungeon.
Oh God.
And it's a 3/3 naturally. So anytime I swing with that thing, if it's equipped, I'm venturing into the dungeon, I'm dealing 3 points of damage to something, and I'm going to overturn the top 3 cards and cast something for free. It's just a value train.
That
It's
seems.
it's so cool.
God, this format's giving me a headache.
The nice thing, one of the nice things about the format though is it's so cheap because it's all commons. Except for, I mean, you make a little investment with the legendary equipment. A lot of those do have a high price tag, but once you get past that, most Pendragon decks are going to run you like 20, $25. And that's it.
I mean, that is the upside of all Pauper formats, right? Like
Sure.
they're all busted. I mean, mind you, my Pauper deck for normal 60 card Pauper is insanely expensive because I have an Elves deck and I decided that all of my Lana Wars need to be beta, all of my lands need to be APAC or whatever. And it's just like, this is not necessary to bling out a Pauper Elves deck, but by God, I'm going to anyways.
You gotta love elves. It doesn't matter what format it is, they're busted.
Well, you know what the thing is? I have found in 100 card Elves is maybe the most boring deck to play because it plays the same every time.
Kinda, yeah.
And like, I don't want to play the same deck. I want to play fun time decks. I want decks that do different. That's one of the reasons why I'm a little hesitant on things like on formats to have extra stuff in the command zone, because the more things that are in the command zone, the more consistent it becomes. And I don't want consistency. I want people who want consistency to be stymied and thwarted and upset about how random the format is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I've tried to alleviate that in some of my builds. Depending on the way you approach it, you can kind of add more randomness to it. I built a Helm of the Host deck.
Yeah.
And instead of just the commander creature being really good with Helm of the Host, I decided to make every creature in the deck good with Helm of the Host. So every time I play it, it's a little bit different.
Everything's an ETB.
Right. What do I end up putting on Helm of the Host this time? And it keeps people guessing. It's like I don't know what to expect from this.
You could make a fun mono black deck with like Helm of the Host and Necrotal. No, yeah, Necrotal's a common somewhere.
I believe so.
Yeah, or one of the Necrotal-esque creatures that comes into play and kills the thing. There's 1,000 of them. Who knows?
Shriekmaw.
Yeah, Shriekmaw. Or
Shriekmaw.
What the hell was Chupacabra?
Chupacabra,
right?
Yeah.
Man, this is really fun. I want to build a deck that seems really cool. I dig this. Because like the fact that I thought it was all equipment, but the fact that it's only legendary equipment makes the story feel stronger. Like having any random weenie stand up with Embercleave is cool. That's sick. I love that.
I have done some posts on Blue Sky where I just simply put together the picture of a common creature and a legendary equipment and then write a little piece of fiction.
Yeah, I love that.
Just about like what brought them to find this legendary piece of equipment. Like what is that? Like
I call that emergent gameplay, right? Like that is my favorite thing about video games. Like when you're like playing Civilization for something and you're like, how did these Persians become Taoist? What does that mean? Like, what is Persian Taoism? You know, like that's so like that is one of the things that keeps me playing Commander is that you can tell a story of what is going on here. Yeah. What happened when this Lana War elf picked up the Helm of Caldra? What did that mean?
Yes.
Right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I
we're
dig
cut
it.
from the same cloth in that regard. I love the emerging narrative and gameplay, and it's video games. Magic doesn't matter. Like, I
Yeah.
love to see it. Love to see it.
Oh man. Well, this has been a lovely chat. Thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely, this has been my absolute pleasure.
And now, if folks wanted to find you or learn more about Pendragon, where would they go?
Absolutely. Look for OnionBug over on Blue Sky. You can find us there. On my profile, you can find links to everything that I endeavor into on the internet, including my Twitch stream, which has been on hiatus for a while. I've been doing some coaching of other up and coming trans streamers, putting a little more focus into that. But the Bug Bob will be back pretty soon. Probably focusing a lot on Pendragon. So if you want to see some of that gameplay, it's coming. But
Where
also,
how are you going to do that? Oh, spell table.
mm-hmm, yeah,
Yeah, because I was like, wait, where is it on Magic Online? What would that be?
mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, I stream Commander games on Twitch. Primarily been in a hiatus because I just moved across the country to my new
Right.
home. But yeah, it's been going pretty good. We've had some wonderful guests. Every once in a while, I take a break from the norm and do kind of like a talk show style type stream. That's been really fun. I had Gavin Verhey on. It was absolute delight.
We love a Gavin around here.
We do, absolutely, yeah. It's I don't know. I grew up watching late night talk shows with David Letterman and stuff, and so I usually do like a top 10 questions, like pick a subject and just here are 10 interesting questions regarding this, and let's get the perspective of like 3 or 4 different people, and just some of the stories that people tell when, hey, I was not expecting this question, and this is really good, and I have an interesting answer. It's fun.
That's my favorite thing.
But
that's why I do this every week.
No doubt. Everything regarding what I do and Pendragon, and you can find links to all that in my profile. So I have a card posted up there. Check it out.
Awesome. Then also, it has been lovely to get to know you and to have you on this show. And I value our interactions whenever we run into each other at the MagicCon stuff, because you're always smiling, and I appreciate that. Especially since that's not always how people come to me.
It's true. I like to try to bring a little bit of joy.
Yeah. Well, my friends, as always, you can find me as Shivam Bhatt on Blue Sky. You can also find this podcast wherever podcasts are sold, or at YouTube every Tuesday. Thanks to my editor, Dan. You can also hear me on Shivam and Wheeler Love Magic or the Chronicles of Dragonlance podcast. But remember, my friends, it's not magic without the gathering, and we'll see you next time.